be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache, and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns the patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sickly door, with the pale cast of thought and enterprises of great pitch and moment. With this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Alright, so that was my interpretation of the To Be or Not to Be soliloquy in Act 3, Scene 1. And I staged it like that mostly because, there's this stereotype that the toilet is this great place for deep thinking. You're all by yourself and you can just stay in your head, really. And that's exactly how I characterized Hamlet in my essay. He's this reflective, pensive character who is, always thinking before he ever acts on anything. He's not impulsive at all. He goes through everything in his head before making any decisions. And I think this soliloquy kind of, in a way, is a small part in the much larger characterization of Hamlet in this way. The whole entire play, particularly the soliloquies, show that he really is a thinker before he is an actor. And this soliloquy contributes to that significantly. Just from the very beginning, to be or not to be, that's a pretty heavy subject. Should I live or should I die? That's deep. And so my purpose of staging it in the way that I did was to show that, he's a really deep thinker and he's not actually doing anything about it quite yet.